Welcome, beautiful soul. I am so honored to have you here today for one of the most personal and powerful conversations I think that I have shared yet. This episode is for the woman who've ever whispered, I'm just a mom. And even if you didn't, don't go away because there is something special in here for you too, as well.
This space honors all paths of connection, healing, and family, grounding ourselves in sacred teachings as we are anchored in ancient roots, ready to rise from the soil of our past. I'm Michelle Irene Stupsky, here to guide you through stories, insights, and spiritual practices that will help you heal and rediscover your true belonging.
But for those of us who had or have stepped out of the workforce or walked a path of presence over productivity, and wondered if they still mattered, I'm here to tell you that you do. This is for anyone who's felt invisible, unrecognized, or unsure of where they fit in this fast moving world. So today, we're talking about identity, worth, and the sacredness of choosing a life that may not look successful on the outside, but is deeply impactful within. You are not just a mom. You are so much more. I became a stay-at-home mom not because it was trendy or convenient or financially easy, because that was not the truth. I did it because something deep inside of me whispered that this is where you're needed, right here with them. And so we made sacrifices. We gave up a second income. We learned how to stretch every dollar, to shop sales racks, to hunt garage sales, and even pick up broken furniture off the curb and refinish it into something beautiful. And still, people would say, "You are so lucky. I wish I could stay home like that." As if I was on vacation or something, as if this work wasn't difficult. But I remember one day at an amusement park, we were with our nephews, and my husband stayed with two of the boys to go and grab food from another area. And then I took the other one to go to a different stand. And as we were walking, he looked up at me and said, "But how are we going to pay for this without Uncle Todd?" That hit hard. He didn't mean harm. He was just maybe 13 or 14 at the time, but the sting of that moment settled deep because it reflected what so much of the world believes, that the one who earns the money holds the power, that if you're not financially contributing, you're not really contributing at all. And the hardest part, after enough of those moments, you start to believe what other people are thinking. Start to shrink into that mold. You start to say, "Oh, I'm just a mom." Like you're apologizing for your existence. But here's what I know now with my whole heart and soul. You are not just a mom. You are the rhythm of your household, the keeper of memories, of peace, of structure, of love. You're the first responder to emotional emergencies, the one who shows up for it all. You don't clock out. You don't get bonuses. You don't always get a thank you, but you are the glue. And if no one else says it, I will. You are sacred. Motherhood isn't just a role. It's a revolution. It is divine work, even when the world doesn't see it. And here's something else that we don't talk enough about. Around my mid to late 30s, I started to feel like I was disappearing. I was shrinking. My children were getting older, and they didn't need me as much in the same way. And for the first time in years, I looked around and I thought, wait a minute, who am I now? The schedule was quieter, the house was calmer, and yet inside I was spiraling. I didn't feel like I fit anywhere. I wasn't chasing a career at this point. I wasn't just a mom anymore. I wasn't sure what came next. And the silence inside, that question opened the door for depression to creep in. And I didn't feel like I belonged in society's story of what a successful woman looks like and what the persona is behind that. I wasn't climbing a corporate ladder. I wasn't scaling a business. I wasn't coming home at odd hours, but I was holding space. I was raising hearts. I was managing energy, and that felt invisible. But here's what I've learned. You are allowed to lose yourself as long as you find your way back home. You are allowed to question who you are because you're always changing and because it means you're ready to remember who you truly came here to be. Belonging doesn't come from fitting in. It comes from being fully seen by yourself. Eventually, I did find that next chapter and I stepped into a new calling as a spiritual life coach. But even then, the looks didn't change. I went from just a mom to, oh, that's nice, with that same glazed over smile when I told people what I do. Because the world doesn't always understand soul work. It doesn't value transformation unless it comes with a price tag, a financial gains price tag. It doesn't know how to honor the invisible impact. But let me tell you what I do see. I see clients whose hearts crack open, people who cry because they finally feel seen and heard. I've witnessed lives that shift because of a single conversation, a single truth. That is my currency now. And I've come to realize my spiritual work is just as sacred as my motherhood work was. Neither is loud, neither is flashy, but both are world changing. So here's what I want to leave you with. Whether you're a stay-at-home mom, a spiritual entrepreneur, a woman rebuilding her identity, or someone just trying to figure out where she belongs in this world, you do not have to prove your worth. Not with a paycheck, not with productivity, not with permission. Your presence is your gift. Your love is your legacy. Your soul work matters, even if the world doesn't always see it. You are not just anything, but you are becoming. And that is beyond sacred. It's eternal. So if this episode spoke to you, if your heart cracked open or your eyes welled up a little bit, this is the perfect time to remind you not to forget the sacred pause. When life feels loud, when you feel like you're losing yourself in the giving, the striving, and the doing, come back to the stillness. Come back to you. So let's take a sacred pause together right now in this beautiful moment as you close your eyes, if you can, as long as you're not driving or walking, and place your hand over your heart and breathe in deeply, then exhale slowly. One more time. Breathe in love. Exhale everything that doesn't belong to you. You are safe to pause. You are safe to rest. You are safe to simply be. You need more of this in your life. I invite you to go back and listen to the sacred pause, a meditation for presence and reflection right in the podcast playlist. And if you're in a season of growth, don't forget the other beautiful episodes, Celebrate the Win, and why honoring your success is a sacred practice. As a stay-at-home mom, that's a win. So I celebrate you. As we remind ourselves about stillness and strength, and celebration is spiritual. This sacred work is something you do every day. And my program, Back to Me, is a beautiful space where women come together to remember who they are. It's about making a movement, a return, a reclamation, a remembering of worth. And you can try the Back to Me program for free for 3 days, no pressure. Just bring your presence and check it out. So come home to yourself. I invite you. And the next time someone asks, what do you do? Say it with your whole heart and soul. I raise souls, I guide hearts, and I change lives because you do. And I see you, and I'm happy you are here. And so it is.